5 of us, we all farm together. I don't do as much physical work as I used to. I run the truck a lot. I run the logging machine or something when they get set right. I don't work on it anymore. It's a good operation. We've been at it. I said we're on about the 6th or 7th generation, and if you look all the way back through that, whoever first generation, he passed it on to next, and he added it on to everybody's went down the next generation and have added on. So we're up to, I don't know, 5,000 acres. It's a good operation. Everybody gets on good. It's a pleasure.
My name's Dave Yarrick. I've been farming here with my family for, I guess I'm the 6th generation. This particular location is something I bought about 30 some years ago, but some of the family stuff we farm has been in our family for 6 generations, well over 100 years.
We've been there for over 100 years. I would be the 5th generation on that side of things.
Always looking for ways to improve, and we ran across some of NutraDrip's guys at the Kansas City Farm Show 2 or 3 years ago and had a conversation. That's how we got started in the irrigation business. Just less stress, sleeping better at night. I knew I had a chance to grow. We knew water is always our limiting factor, and if we could control that during the summer, we could greatly improve our yield potential. And with the dry land, in July and August, we're always worried, are we going to get another rain to keep it going, to get the yield potential that's possible. And with the tape, with the irrigation water underneath it, you didn't worry about that near as much. You knew you had the water there and it was going to be all right.
One thing we can't do, we can't control the weather. And this is really a good deal. It's going to take time, it's going to take money and everything else, but we've got a good start on it. And you can see how it's going to help. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I always said in this country, we're only about 30 days away from the drought anytime. And we don't need constant irrigation, but there's hardly a year that goes by where we don't need to.
Before NutraDrip, we had zero irrigation. We didn't irrigate anything. We were all dry land, and so this venture into NutraDrip is our drip tape is our first venture with irrigation. We don't have any other form. Everything we've got is tape in the ground. We've got 2 different locations of that. There's 55 acres here at this location, and another one further west in Kansas. We've got a little over 100 acres there. There's plans to expand both of them to get them much bigger than they are. Just matter of time. We built about a 25-acre lake that is our water supply, and we put in the infrastructure in the lake and the line from the lake to the edge of the farm that we've got the irrigation on currently. We put that line in big enough to supply several hundred acres. Although we don't have that much in tape yet, our plan is to expand in the future, so we'll have the ability to get about 600 acres right here in this square mile right here that will be fed by the one lake that we built.
I had a big part, and then my uncle had a big part of building our water source, which would be from lakes, again, which would be runoff. Runoff fills the lakes. That is our water source for our tape. I had a lot to do with building those and kind of making that come together. 10 years ago, I thought about putting a pivot in. I had intentions of irrigation when we started farming it, but I knew it would be tricky and it would be hard to do. That is why we had the idea of putting tape over there. We knew that it would work a little better.
I run the irrigation here at this site at our house. It's really been pretty simple for the most part. I usually check the moisture probe day to day, every other day, whenever I think of it. I'll drive around every once in a while and check stuff here along the road and go over to the lake and check in the container to make sure things are running like they're supposed to be, make sure there's no leaks or anything.
If I get up in the morning, I look at the moisture probes. Obviously, I have the moisture probe and the thermal imagery, which is really good. It's kind of a hand-in-hand thing. You can look at one, look at the other, and make predictions or recommendations in your own mind on what to do with that information.
We're gone every weekend during the summer tractor pulling, and it's nice to be able to just pull it up on your phone and look at it and make sure everything's ginning like it's supposed to be and running, and making sure everything's jiving. Checking moisture probe, like I said, stuff like that.
Usually whenever I'm about ready to go to bed, I look at it, look at a program. If I want to change something, it's very simple. I log into it. If I want to add an extra hour or two, it's very simple. It takes about 1 or 2 minutes to do. If I think I need more water or less water, making that decision from the probes, obviously, because that's what I'm going off of. I can add more time or take less, and then again readjust from there. Cody and me talk on a daily basis on what we learn. Like just for the probe, for instance, you can tell the moisture that it brings up from down below, you know, from deep depths. Whenever your crop is using that, it's very interesting. The thermal imagery. It's just amazing to see how far technologies came from satellite imagery and what you can gather from that. There's so many different types of soil types. There's 12 to 16, maybe 20 different soil types on one farm. In my grandparents' place that we have the tape in Prescott would be one of those farms. Especially for me with that thermal imagery, you can definitely tell where those soil types are. You may go to the USDA office and get a soil type map. And I really don't think that tells the whole story of what your farm really is. With that thermal imagery, to me, you can pinpoint right to the places and you can draw out right where those different type of soil types are just on moisture availability to me, because you can see where your lighter ones are, your heavier soils are. And that, to me, that's just good management. That's a good information piece to fall back on.
The tape gives you the ability to spoon feed the crop from a nutrient standpoint. You don't have to throw it all out there when the crop's young because you can't get across it when it's tall. You can do it anytime the crop needs it, no matter what size the crop is. You can put it on in a more timely fashion and therefore reduce your total usage but increase your yields at the same time. Overall, that 55 acres averaged 180 on corn, which was about 30 better than the overall dryland average on the same farm, which 30 doesn't sound like much, but the rest of the story is part of that 55 acres that was irrigated, where it drained well and didn't stand in water, that corn was 275 to 300. So we know the potential is there. This year, that same 55 is in soybeans, and I expect it to be 25 to 30 bushel better than the dry land beside it. If you're in an area where water is your limiting factor on yield in July and August, irrigation will be the answer. I never did feel like our area was very conducive to pivot irrigation. We rolled just enough that it would have been hard to get a spot big enough to make a pivot go in a circle. A lot of places were limited. There's a big enough creek we can't cross. We couldn't cross it with the pivot. So this tape allowed us to go into any size field, any terrain, and we could irrigate 100% of what we were farming and not have to eliminate any corners like you would with the pivot. So we felt it was more economically feasible from that standpoint, being able to do the whole field, whatever shape it might be in, and a lot less water to do the same thing because there's no evaporation loss from dropping it through the air onto the ground. It all stays in the ground where there's no transpiration or evaporation loss from it. So we felt like the efficiency from that standpoint, and any shape, size field, the tape was a much better option for us. Just the fact that we can bump up our yields and hopefully be easier to break even or even make something, especially in today's commodity price environment. It's just the prices are so low. The only way you're going to outdo it is to bump up your yields. And like this climate that we're in here, water is always going to be our limiting factor. We've got some decent soils. We can grow some really good stuff if we get timely rains, and that typically doesn't happen in July and August. Therefore, irrigation is the number one thing we can do to increase our yield.
My experience working with NutraDrip has been very good. I have had nothing but good results through my spokesperson, which would be Travis Roki. Any time of day, try not to text him real late at night. Sometimes I wanted to, try not to do that, but he's always been very responsive. If I have troubles with the controllers, throws up a code or something, he also can access the system from wherever he's at. He can walk me through it, or he can solve that issue by himself without me. Technical support, so to say, is is very good. It's very easy to operate, very easy to figure out.
Our experience with NutraDrip's been really easy. They've been great to work with and great people, and it's been super simple. You know, we've done everything we've asked you to do. I don't have a problem at all.
It's a blessing to work with family, number one, but it's a blessing to come into a family with peers or, you know, your older generation that is willing to give some reins, that is willing to try new things, that is willing to support you and to back you. And that is such a blessing. In our family, day-to-day operation, I believe that comes with a Christ-like mentality. I know it does. That's why all of us work well together. We perform well together. I believe we will continue to perform well together for many years to come. And then our kids after us will perform well, because we hope to carry those values to several generations to come. And really, that's what it's all about. There's always funny things around the farm every day. All of us break things daily, and all of us want to throw in the towel, but it's just a great thing. When one of us is down, there's always one of us behind us to pick us up, and that way we can continue to go on. And that is really what it's all about, is having a group of people that are so like-minded and perform so well together. You can really never fail. You can never fail with that mentality.
It's a good operation. Everybody gets on good. It's a pleasure.